like it was overall a good day? Just kind of, I mean, you feel like you got to accomplish what you hope to accomplish
Yeah,
today?
for sure. I mean, it wasn't perfect as far as, it being clean, but the guys getting after it, competing, stepping up to the challenge. It's the first time getting in front of another team. I like where our heads were at. I like how well we handled the intensity and tried to raise it to our own. And it was a good step forward in trying to create a standard.
You almost expect things not to be clean and crisp and precise that first time out?
Not yet. I mean, there's so many different, groups that we have, 1, 2s, 3s, and cycling through that. Sometimes you're playing with guys you haven't had a lot of reps with, and so you're not expecting them to be there. The communication is not exactly where it needs to be with a guy you're getting 3 or 4 reps with. So, you want it to be clean, you want it to be smooth and perfect, but you got to get more reps.
Myles, on occasion I have seen Shador kind of hanging out with you a little bit between reps on the field, maybe picking your brains a little bit or whatever. Just wondering what your thoughts are on Shador, kind of how he's conducted himself this camp, and then now he's getting the start on Friday night. What are your thoughts?
I mean, he's funny, he's optimistic, he's lighthearted, but he works hard. He takes it seriously, his craft, and he's watching what the others are doing, and doing it his own way in which only he can. So, looking forward to see him during these preseason games and how he manages the offense. But I think he looks good, but all the guys look good right now.
And does that show initiative on his part? That, I mean, and maybe you guys aren't talking like real technical football during those little powwows that you have, but is he picking your brains on certain things, like what to expect when you're?
For sure, not always. When you see him, he's picking my brain, but he's definitely coming to me a couple times to see what I'm thinking. I'm going through my rush or what the defense's mentality is.
Myles, from one number one pick to another, what do you think about your work against Bryce Young today?
I mean, I think he looks a lot more comfortable, than the first time he suited up. I think they've really rallied around him, and seeing that he can lead this team and do well. The playmaking and game-changing ability hasn't changed, and I think it's just him finding his own confidence, being comfortable in the role, and them allowing him to lead and standing behind him. And I think that was big for him, and he's only going to continue to settle in and become a bigger and bigger playmaker.
Can that help a young player? I know they sat him for a little bit and let Andy start for him, but can that help a younger player sometimes to kind of step back and kind of reset and kind of see?
I think in most cases for quarterbacks that's imperative, to allow them to get some perspective. Take a step back, not be expected to change a franchise or a team overnight. Allow yourself to be guided by some of the people who came before you who have seen the game, who have game experience, and you can really learn from. And then once you're ready to take that role, let it happen gradually instead of suddenly, and be thrust into a position where it's make or break.
You guys are trying to change this franchise. You're only 3 weeks in. What do you see? What's your feeling on how things are going?
I like how the standard has continued to increase, every single day. Guys are really showing an attention to detail and a discipline that I don't feel was there all the time last year. And it's a heightened awareness, heightened urgency right now, and want to continue to see that through the rest of the year.
Myles, how did you guys establish that? A lot of guys have talked about a beat up mindset. Were there conversations you guys had to establish that?
I feel like it was an effort all around, from coaches to players. It's got to be everyone in the building, from Haslam down to the last guy on the roster. Everyone's got to have the same mindset of what we expect from every single one of us walking into that building. And I think it's got to continue to be pushed by the leaders of the team who have been expected to rise up to that role. And I think a lot of guys have stepped into it and made the most of it.
Myles, how can this trip and next week's trip kind of help with camaraderie or team building? Is it good to get away and do these kinds of things?
Sure, it can be good, as long as you come into it with the right mindset, trying to get something out of it, not looking at it as an escape or a vacation. You've got to look at as a way to get better. You're going to compete against some of the very best in the position across the league. So take it as a challenge. Use these different looks, these different players as a way to grow as a player and a teammate, as a leader, and just look forward to working with your brother. Take it with a smile on your face and continue to attack the role every time.
You sometimes wish you could sack this Flacco guy without getting one day. You sometimes wish you could sack this Flacco guy in practice without getting one day.
Man, there was a play when he was on the Jets where I had him dead to rights, and I got snagged down by the back of my shoulder pads, and it was fourth quarter. They were making their comeback, and I'd have ended the game. And I'll never forget that, looking at his face every time we sit close to each other in a team meeting. But I've done buried the hatchet, and glad to see him with us. See with the good guys.
How's it going with you kind of helping DeJuan get ready for whatever he's going to face this season?
Continue to build his confidence. I know it can be difficult sometimes if I make a play or if I beat him, but just trying to coach him through some things that I see or what I'm doing, and continue to improve his technique and his fundamentals. And I think the main thing for him is confidence and being on the left side. Making sure that he knows he's capable of winning on that side and dominating on that side. It's just a matter of switching those fundamentals a little bit, and sticking with it. Sometimes I think he gets in his head a little bit, but I know he has the ability to go out there and dominate on the left side or the right side, whatever he's called to do.
Myles, as a defensive line, where have you guys seen your unit grow the most? And just getting best acclimated, but really just the time that you guys have spent together these last couple weeks.
Where have I seen us grow the most?
Yes.
I would say maturity. Just stepping up. A lot of guys were young. I mean, obviously a year younger last year, but I don't feel like they knew they had a voice. And leadership comes at any year. Whether you're year 1, year 9, you step up to the role and you're able to lead by your actions and by your words. I feel like guys don't understand that. Year 1 you lead by example, by setting that example every single day. Carson going out there and getting extra reps, and when we're running skills and bigs, he's up there with the top 3 fastest guys, and that's how he leads with example and not necessarily with his voice. And I continue to see him do that, and that's how he grows in that role. And I've seen some of the linemen do that as well, especially the young guys.
Thanks, Christopher. So how do you feel to go, against some different faces and get some different looks today?
Yeah, it's always a little bit fun. I mean, back in the day, it used to be like a nice break in camp, but today it was, it's not as much needed. But it's always good to go against somebody else, see some different jerseys over there, and kind of put yourself to test a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. At least I think it's been a point of emphasis for us, like this camp, pre-snap penalties. Like sometimes the stuff during the snap, like when you're playing, it's the pre-snap ones is the one that we can control. It's all mental, and I think we did have some of those today. And like I said, it's been a point of emphasis for us throughout the whole camp. So to come out here and get against another team where maybe you're a little bit more revved up, I think that showed today. So we need to, just need to refine a little bit, and this is probably a good environment for that, because it allows you to realize, like, man, maybe I went a little overboard, and it allows you to kind of, the next time you're faced with that, to relax a little bit more and just go play your game. I think it's been something that we've been constantly on. Like there's been days where we've been really good, and there's been days where we've not been good enough. I definitely think today was a little bit more so, and I think that's natural, but it's very controllable, so you don't want to see it.
Joe, what do you feel like's better and is getting better now that we're in week 3 of camp and you've had 2 full weeks where you're getting first?
There's a little bit of it that's tough to say because, there's only a certain amount of reps out there, but guys are competing. Guys are really getting after it. I think they're starting to, as much as they can, learn a little bit about themselves and be able to dig a little bit deeper and realize they're starting to kind of the light bulbs coming on of what it's going to take to be that consistent, team that we want to be. I think this organization's been close over the years. We've had some good teams here. Now it's just about getting that consistency, that competition up every single day to push ourselves.
What do you expect to see from Shador now that we know he's going to get the start on Friday night?
Oh, it'll be interesting. I think we'll all be, sitting there watching and be excited for, football to be going real time. And I think he's probably excited about that too. I mean, your first time to go in the NFL, I remember mine. I mean, I didn't get to play until the last 2 minutes of the game, but it's something that he'll remember forever. I mean, most of us have dreamt about this moment, since we were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. So for him to get a chance to go out there and actually take the field, even though it's preseason, we're all going to be on the sidelines and at home and enjoying it. So. For sure. It's so funny because, I don't really think of it that way. We're just kind of going to work every day and doing our job, and we're in the room together. But yeah, that'll make it exciting.
Judy had a couple pitches today.
Yeah.
One-handed tips. Now that you've played with them for 3 weeks, practice with them, what do you think?
Yeah, Jerry's good. Yeah, he's a difference maker. He is. I'm excited for him. Because I think obviously he's not with the team that he was drafted by. So I think he's got a little chip on his shoulder, just like all of us do in this league for one reason or the other. And you can tell that he's a difference maker. So I'm excited for the things he's doing.
Joe, how do you notice Shador kind of progressing just away from this, away from when he's out there, just in the meeting rooms? I mean, have you noticed a difference in him?
I think he's come in from day one with a pretty good, head on his shoulders, a pretty good method about how he thinks he should do things, and I think we've all been in that room together and all picked up little things from each other. So I think he's just staying the course and and continuing to try to grab a thing here and there.
How about the dynamic of the room? Have you done any back in my day? We did 2 days stuff.
It's funny because I really don't want to be that guy, but every single day there's something that comes up like that. And then you get in the moment, you start telling stories, and I can't help myself. So, yes, there's been a little bit of that.
So,
You and
Joe,
Tyler Humphrey crossed paths before.
We didn't. No, we didn't. It's funny, though, because, I was telling a couple of the guys as I left the huddle today, he's got the biggest smile on his face, holding his hand out, giving you a high five, got the biggest smile on his face. It's a reminder of he just feels blessed to be out here and be on the grass playing football. And we talked Baltimore a little bit because he was in Baltimore and spent some time with those guys, so we kind of know what that's about. But he seems great, honestly.
He placed you after Lamar took over.
That's right. Yeah. Well, Lamar was there, and then he was the year. I think he was that next year. I think.
Joe, how is it that the 40-year-old guy is the only quarterback in this competition that has not missed a snap, a drill, a rep because of soreness, injury, or whatever?
Hey, listen. I think. I mean, who knows why I'm the one guy, but I think the fact that I am 40 and here is just I've been fortunate with my body. I've learned how to take care of it. I mean, there is part of me that wishes we were doing 3-hour practices because I could show that I could last through those too. It's not that much of an accomplishment to kind of come out here and make it through a training camp. But I do feel like if we were grinding 3 hours, 2.5 hours every day, I could still go through that too. I wish I could show that a little bit. But hey, I think some of it, a lot of it is taking care of your body and learning how to do that. You gain knowledge as you're in the league. But also, you just, throughout my football career, I've had a couple injuries, but most of the ball, I've been pretty fortunate on just what I've been given and the situations I've been given. So,
Joe, 1 today and 2 next week. Is there a place you want to be or think this offense needs to be when you come out of Philly and head to that home stretch?
Listen, you love to just come out here and go against teams and just gain confidence. You want to see guys, you want to be able to look in guys' eyes after your rack and see them be excited. So I know that's not a specific goal or anything, but when guys start to get excited about what we could be, you can feel that, and that does matter. Good teams, they know how to win because they believe throughout the whole 60 minutes that they're going to win. So it would be really big if you could start to get some of that, and you can see the belief in guys.
How many joint practices you get early on in your career?
Not a lot. Not until like maybe my 6th year or something, 7th year. We practiced against San Fran. Early on, we did not do a lot.
So this is the future of the league.
Yeah.
Do you think it's as productive as 2 days?
Oh, it's interesting. I feel like before I came in the league, like there was a decent amount of it. I could be wrong in saying that, and maybe it kind of there wasn't for a little bit. I think I think a lot of coaches have relationships with each other. It's a nice way to break up camp. It's a nice way to compete. It seems as though everybody's doing it. I think there's definitely some positives in it, but also like it's not all positive. You have to be willing to like take a travel day and another travel day, and one of those teams has to be willing to do that. I think there was a time where you just wanted to go. So you have to like you have to be able to manage that throughout camp. You can't just say, hey, we're going to have joint practices and we're going to miss a day here because we got to travel and we're going to do this. I think when you do it, you just have to be aware that you're going to maybe miss out on a little bit of like actual field time. So you got to make the most of it when you do have it, and then you got to make the most of these practices when you do them.
Joe, I saw one interview where you were talking about how much you still want to start in this game. Can you kind of address that? You're not here just padding the college fine. I mean, you're going for it here.
Yeah, listen, that's why we play the game, right? We play to play. That's what gets us all going. You do gain perspective, and when you go take that, just like I was talking about Tyler, like when you're out in the grass in practice, you can remind yourself, wow, this is like cool that we're out here. But the end goal is to be the guy on the field playing the football games. That's why we all do it. That's as simple as it gets.
What is the next step? Do you feel like over, as you go through next week in Philly? Is there a specific thing you feel like this has to be point of emphasis? This has to be clean this up. Anything in particular you feel like is the next step?
I think we have our goals and like how we want to play the game. They're not necessarily like hurdles to get over, but they're standards that we hold ourselves to. And I think when you go and you practice against other teams, when you practice against yourself, you have to hold yourself to those standards. And the more that guys start to do that and you feed off of each other, the more you start to see results. When you're going in these practices, I guess you could set certain goals, but those things are hard, like to get like an actual measurable thing until you start playing football games and tackling for real. Even when we go from thud to live in our practices versus ourselves, there's a difference, So we just have to make sure we're holding ourselves to the standards that we've outlined and we can all see every single day. And I think as long as we're doing that, then we're moving in the right direction.
Joe, with Kenny being a little bit banged up now, and Dylan being a little bit banged up, can you start to see the vision? Can you start to feel like maybe you're going to be the guy?
I'm not trying to look into that too much. I can say that when you get a little bit, it's still not like, okay, I went from 3 reps here, 3 reps there to a little bit more, not like a ton more, but a little bit more. I mean, just that little bit. You can start to feel like yourself getting the groove, and you calm down a little bit. It's just human nature. Like when you're getting 2 reps, 3 reps, to like, oh, this has to be perfect. And when you feel that way, you're not going to be as good. So to be able to like relax a little bit, let it loose, and like get a little bit more, it just feels right. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to look into what it means, but it definitely feels good to be out there.
Is it difficult not to rush that process? I mean, I know Kevin and Tommy have talked about being process-driven. You've talked sort of about being process-driven. How difficult is it not to rush, not to, kind of get out over your skis and try to rush?
I'm not worried one bit, man. I'm just out here enjoying it and doing the best I can every single day, trying to show these guys that, man, I can do it. You should have confidence in me. When I talk to my wife at night, maybe she's not as patient. But listen, I'm having a lot of fun just going out there and slinging it around in practice right now, and I'm doing a good job of just kind of keeping my feet where they are, and that's all I can do right now.
When the guys see that, when they see a veteran like you guys it's accomplishment, do you think it helps them to also kind of take that feet off that,
I hope so. I think I do think, like no matter, I don't care if you're a veteran or not, but when you have guys on your team that remind other guys just by the way they do it, that, man, this is just a game. Like, take this weight off my shoulders and let's go play. that's going to help everybody play to their best ability. And I hope I can do that.
So how have you seen
Last
Dylan
one.
and Kenny kind of handle the short side of it because they've both been dealing with injuries, and you talk about like the importance of those reps, but how have you seen them kind of handle that part of it as they're not able to be in every team room?
Yeah, listen, they're great. I mean, they've been doing a great job. I mean, you can tell, like with Kenny, he's been out like the last week. You can tell, like you can just see it on his face that he's itching to get back out there. And you know, they've all been great in the meeting room, very attentive and asking questions, and you know, it's been a great room so far.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.